Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, Shubdinam everybody. Thank you for joining me for session today on the Yoga Chikitsa programs of the Indian Yoga Association. Let us begin by having a prarthana. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. So this morning we felt that it would be a good opportunity to bring our IYA family together and to look at the very special programs in Yoga Chikitsa being organized under the banner of the Indian Yoga Association. And I thank our IYA office team for making arrangements for this, and especially our IYA PrCB, with a special mention to Ankita, who had given me this idea to have this session. So thank you, Ankita, for motivating me to give this session.
Thank you, sir. Your guidance.
And as you may or may not know, I'm Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani, Joint Secretary of IYA. And my role, which is bringing me to this session today, is as chairperson of the Yoga Therapy Subcommittee of our standing accreditation and academic committee of IYA. So over the last few years, we have been trying to streamline different programs in Yoga Chikitsa, the application of yoga as a therapy. And in this process, we have been able to recognize the eminent Yoga Chikitsa masters of the world, not just India, but of the world. And I would like to start off by sharing the very beautiful list of the masters who are our Yoga Chikitsa Ratnas. And it is thanks to their efforts over the last many years that we are able to reap the benefits of yoga as a therapy. So you can see we have very eminent personalities in the field of Yoga Chikitsa, such as Dr. Samprasad Vinodji, Sri O.P. Tiwari-ji, Dr. Pranava Pandya-ji, Mahansa-ji, Swami Bharat Bhushan-ji, Dr. Ishwar Basavareddy-ji, Guruji Dr. Nagendra-ji, Professor Madan Mohan sir, Professor R.L. Bijlani sir, Yogacharya Sridharan-ji, Srimati Menaka Deshikacharya-ji, Dr. Lata Satish-ji, from the Himalayan tradition, Swami Ritavan Bharati-ji, Sri Vishwas Mandalik-ji, Amma-ji, Ishwar Bharatwaj-ji, Didi, Dr. Nagaratna, Dr. Stoma-ji, Stephen Parker, Dr. Dilip Sarkar, Dr. Larry Payne, Yogacharya Joseph LaPage, Yogacharya Venkata Reddy-ji, and in recent times, Dr. Viksha Kapi, Dr. A.L.V. Kumarji. So you can see that a very big list of eminent Yoga Chikitsa masters in the form of Yoga Chikitsa Ratna have been recognized. And then along with that, we also have three forms of recognition. And these three forms include our Yoga Chikitsa Acharyas. So we have the Yoga Chikitsa Acharyas who have been recognized. Now these are people who have more than 10 years of experience in not only Yoga Chikitsa, but in training therapists. And you can see from the time of the last conclave in Haridwar, we now currently in this list have a very big list of our eminent Yoga Chikitsa Acharyas. There are 74. And recently we have also approved another dozen Yoga Chikitsa Acharyas, making it about 85, 86 Yoga Chikitsa Acharyas who have been recognized. These are people who have more than 10 years of experience teaching, sharing, and conducting yoga therapy sessions. So that 10 years is a very important part, and in this process we have looked at documentation. So I would like to give a small clarification here. Many people ask me, Dr. Ananda, YCB Yoga Certification Board, of which I am a member of the steering committee, they also have a yoga assistant yoga therapist, and yoga therapy consultant certification. So many people ask me, what is the difference? The YCB is a certifying body, so it is a certification. So yoga assistant yoga therapist, yoga therapy consultant is a certification by YCB in the Ministry of Ayush that is obtained by writing an exam. So it is an exam based certification. However, the IYA recognition is based on documentation. So you have to document your training in yoga therapy, you have to document that you have given people yoga therapy, and you have to document you are training other yoga therapists. When all of these criteria are fulfilled through documentation, based on the expertise and the experience, we go through a committee. We have a screening committee that looks at all the applications. Then it goes to the yoga therapy subcommittee that again discusses the selected nominations, going to the standing academic accreditation committee, and then finally the executive council of IYA approves those nominations. So it is a 4-step procedure that we have brought. It is not that whether you like somebody or don't like somebody, it is purely based on merit and goes through the committee in 4 layers of scrutiny. So one is the Acharya, then we have the other group, which is our Chikitsaka. So the Chikitsaka level can be said to be like it is similar to the YCB yoga therapist level if you want to look at it, and Acharyas similar to the yoga therapy consultant. Please note, one is recognition, the other is certification. And so you can see in the last few years, again the first certification and recognition was given during the Haridwar conclave, and you can see now that we have in this list 49 members who have been recognized as Yoga Chikitsaka, and another 30 members have been recently approved by the EC. So that adds 30 more members to Yoga Chikitsaka. These are people who have documented more than 3 years. So more than 3 years of experience in yoga therapy. They have a training in yoga therapy and they are providing it and documenting it. So then the entry level is what I'm going to talk about today, which is the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka. And currently for the Sahayaka, we have a less number of members who have been approved, and that includes the current list which you can see on our website. And on the website, the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka, there are 10 members who are on the website, and another dozen members have recently been approved by the committee. So this is going on for the last few years. Why are we doing it? We want to recognize those who are working in the field of yoga therapy based on training, their therapy documentation, and whether they are sharing it and creating future yoga therapists. So in this process, for the Yoga Chikitsaka and the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka, we have come upon a new syllabus. Before I go to that syllabus, I want to share with you that IYA over the past many years has been working on developing the quality of all aspects of our yoga community. And so certain certificate programs have already been approved and are being shared by the IYA. So these are IYA certified courses. I would like to point out that IYA is the only organization where or association where all the major traditions are coming together on one platform. And ever since the time that it started under the presidentship of Sri B.K. Sayangar ji and continues under the presidentship of Mahansa ji and chairmanship of our beloved Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, what we know is that these IYA courses, these are courses that are looking at a basic syllabus, and this training can be offered by different institutes. So if you are a member institute, you are an associate center of IYA, and now we have a couple of hundred associate centers and we have about 40 plus member institutes. If your institute covers at least 70% of the syllabus, so how do you do it? You have to send us your syllabus to the PrCB, and the PrCB will evaluate your syllabus and the IYA syllabus, and if you have more than 70% of the IYA syllabus covered, you are eligible as a member institution and associate center to offer 3 programs. One is foundation course in yoga, second is certificate course in yoga, and third is the advanced certificate course in yoga. The foundation course in yoga, FCY, person should be at least 16 years of age, and we want to make sure you have given at least 50 hours of training, and the practical theory ratio should be 80-20, and minimum of 40 hours of contact should be there for the practical 32, theory 8 hours, and once you complete it, you have to then get the certification from the PrCB, through the PrCB, and for each Indian candidate, we have to pay a fee of 250 rupees, and for international candidates, $10. Here the content has Indian philosophy, culture, Vedas, Darshanas, Upanishads, Sankhya Darshan, Yoga Sutra. As you can see, these are important topics that are to be covered. If you look at the certificate course, it is equivalent to a 200-hour training program. So what is today called as a 200-hour teacher's training is something similar to what the IYA gives as a CCY. Person should have had a minimum 10 standard and 18 years of age. 200 hours should be there. The fees are 1,000 rupees for Indian and national, $40 for non-Indian. And this has a much more elaborate syllabus that looks at aspects that will make you fundamentally someone capable of teaching the basic aspects of yoga. The advanced certificate course is equivalent to 500 hours. So this is the highest certification for yoga training that we are giving through IYA. And as you can see again, that the hours we want is about 500 hours equivalent, and this will be put on your certificate also. So your certificate, when your institute does it, it will have your institute's logo, it will have IYA logo, and your signing authority and IYA signing authority. So it is going to enhance the competency, the qualification, the recognition, and the standard. 1,500 is the fee for Indian national and $50 for non-Indians. And here it goes into a lot of details, including anatomy and physiology, medical science and yoga, and then yogic anatomy, physiology, personality theories, concept of mind, and so many other aspects. So each one builds on each other. So the process for this accreditation, you have to become an associate center of IYA, send us an email to accredit your courses as per IYA norm, submit the documents, the Secretariat will review the documents, and then there is usually an on-site audit so that we can know whether you are actually doing what you claim you are doing. And then we give you the go in case you are conforming to it for the accreditation, and then you can be doing it. And so how do you become an associate center? Well, registered entity, you should be active in yoga, basic infrastructure, qualified yoga teachers. We have an IYA code of conduct and reporting norms you have to abide by, and different documents are required. So this process needs to be done, and affiliation fee is 25,000 for associate centers, and then it is renewable. You don't have to pay again, but you have to keep on making sure that you are up to the mark, and we want to make sure that the standard will always be maintained. And so if you look at the checklist that is required, copy of your syllabus, bylaws, audit report, teaching plan, how you go about admission, examination, evaluation, certification, all of these are to be sent to the Secretariat. And as I said, 250 rupees for FCY, 1000 for CCY, and 1500 for ACCY is there. And so you can contact our Secretariat and they will help you in this process so that your courses can become accredited by IYA. So this is the first part. This is the general yoga training programs. And I highly recommend that you do it. Now I also would like to suggest that if you also want to get the Ministry of Ayush recognition, you can take up the services of IYA PrCB. And through IYA PrCB, we would like our member institutes and also our associate centers to take up the certification programs run by the Ministry of Ayush through YCB. So you can have the IYA certification and recognition, but also through us you can apply and go for the Ayush certification recognition also. And I strongly recommend that if you are looking at the future of yoga in India and that India should be the platinum standard, I think both of these would really go together and complement each other. So in this process, the last few years, we have been working on yoga Chikitsa recognition, and recently, a couple of months back in our conclave meeting in New Delhi, the syllabus was released for the yoga Chikitsa training, and I would like to share that with you and go through it briefly so that you can see what is it that is expected. So the yoga Chikitsa syllabus that was released this year by IYA, by Pujya Gurudev at Delhi, it is setting the educational standards for training of Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka. I hope my screen is visible and you can see what I am projecting. And in this syllabus, we had a yoga therapy subcommittee where the different members and we are guided by the vision of Yogacharya Sridharan sir as our senior mentor and other members who have been part of this team in bringing this syllabus together. So in this syllabus, what you will see is that we are looking at how can we enhance the standards. So we are looking at program outcomes that the person should have in-depth knowledge and understanding of the yoga text. They should have a comprehensive understanding of the yoga text. They should know how to apply the basic principles and practices of yoga therapy. They should understand the principles, practices, and incorporate a holistic approach to health, wellness, and disease prevention. Anatomy, physiology, basic clinical skills are needed. They should have a solid understanding of human anatomy, physiology, and applied basic clinical skills. They should be able to apply the yoga therapy techniques in the management of common ailments and how to use these techniques in different conditions. They should look at holistic health promotion, have soft skills such as communication, etc. And we should always be promoting health and not just disease mitigation, but health. The swasthya concept is what we would like to look at. And you can see the subjects include yogic anatomy, dimensions of the body, insights based on yoga philosophy. This syllabus is available on our website. You can also download. Medical understanding of anatomy, physiology, and pathology. Modern medical approaches to disease management. We then have the Ayurveda approach to health and healing. As you can see, we also have along with that diagnosis and health assessment for Yoga Chikitsa. Then application of the tools of yoga. Then we have the yoga and the mind, Eastern and Western approaches to psychology. We have the teaching methodology and competency building. Then we also have a very important one, legal and ethical guidelines in the therapy process. And other aspects we are suggesting is that person should be able to adapt to the unique styles and learning. They should be able to adjust appropriate practice strategies and all. And again, the group dynamics, how to work through communication skills, time management, priorities, and very important, boundaries in therapy. And we should have a basic knowledge of other healthcare fields in order to develop bridging and communication. So this entire syllabus is a very comprehensive syllabus. A lot of reference materials are also there. And what we are suggesting is that the institutions that are running yoga therapy programs or are interested to do it, if your syllabus is again matching this with 70%, then again you can apply to conduct this program. So when your student graduates from your program of Yoga Chikitsa, they will automatically be eligible for Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka recognition by IYA. So rather than again applying for it, this will enable the student to automatically come into the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka. Then after that, if for 3 years they are practicing and documenting, they can upgrade to Chikitsaka, and after 10 years of experience, documentation and leading other people, can upgrade to the Acharya. And of course, as they grow in the field of Yoga Chikitsa, then the nominations will be taken up for the Ratna. Currently, you cannot apply for the Ratna. You can apply for Sahayaka, Chikitsaka and Acharya. I want to be clear on that. So what does our committee do when you send us your syllabus? We have something like this. It is a syllabus mapping document. So there are 73 topics and the institution should cover at least 51 topics. So what we do is that at least 51 topics should be specific to this Yoga Chikitsa syllabus, and up to 22 topics can be your institution specific, because IYA acknowledges the diversity of the various yoga traditions. And so, when we are looking at this, we want to also make sure that we are not putting everything in a box. We are not saying only this is yoga therapy. We are saying these are the fundamental essentials. But then if your tradition has some others, we are giving you scope to bring in your specialty also. So for each of these, each of the topics that are there under the subject, we need to map whether your syllabus is appropriate and covering more than 70% of the IYA standard syllabus. Now I would like to point out here that we would suggest that 1000 hours plus 200 hours internship is important, and that a duration should be a minimum of 12 months. We are again suggesting that 30% can be school specific, 70% is syllabus. And for this recognition, the fee structure, if you are already a yoga professional member of IYA, you only have to pay 2000 when you upgrade to this. Non-members have to pay 3000. The international fee is $100. So you can see that if already you are a yoga teacher and you are already a yoga professional member of IYA, you are getting 1000 rupees straight away discount when you upgrade to the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka. So we have built up this entire framework, and I wanted to share this framework today because if you go again to the IYA website, you can see that for this process, you can of course, you can apply and take it up for each of these. For example, if you look at the Yoga Chikitsa, I'll give you an example here. If you look at the website, there is under the Yoga Chikitsa, you will see Yoga Chikitsa Acharya, Chikitsaka and Sahayaka. And these are the criteria that are there. You have to put your name, email. So for the Acharya, your name will come up here automatically if you are a life member, because this will already be fed by the life members. To be a Chikitsa Acharya, you have to be a life member of IYA. If you are a life member, automatically your name will be found here. That is how that works. And all the criteria are very well brought out here for the Acharya, for the Chikitsaka and for the Sahayaka. And on the website you can see under certification, if you go, under the yoga certification, all of these processes are also described. So the processes are well described on our website, and in case you have any trouble, you are always welcome to contact the Secretariat, and we are very, very happy to help you in this process. So I wanted to share this basic outline and then now take the next 15-20 minutes to answer any questions or clarifications that you may have, because this has been going on for the last few years, and we have, as you know, also the very popular cycle program, continuous yoga chikitsa learning and education program. Currently more than 500 members have registered for it, and it is one of the success stories of IYA, where you know for the past 21 months, the first Sunday of every month, we have learned from very eminent Ratnas and Acharyas, and this I have made a commitment to continue for minimum 5 years, so that we'll have a knowledge base of at least 60 very, very amazing teachings on Yoga Chikitsa. So this is an ongoing program, and as you know, once you register, you are eligible to get all the recordings for the aspect of learning. So coming to the first question that we have here, I have a question from Dr. Balaji, who is stressing the importance of this accreditation. Yes, see, there are a lot of accreditations. For example, currently internationally, the International Association of Yoga Therapists offers what is called CIYT, and they have an exam-based certification like YCB, and you have to be a member of the IYT, which has a yearly membership fee close to $100. Then you have to pay about $500 to get the CIYT process and documentation. And then every 3 years you have to pay $250 to get it. So from the Indian standpoint, knowing how much a dollar costs against the rupee, it is a very expensive proposition which is going on. Now what we are suggesting is, again, make in India, and Atma Nirbhar Bharat is, you know, our current motive of the whole Indian environment right now. So why not our Indian standard, which is Indian Yoga Association, because all the other organizations are coming from other countries, and most of those are based on a financial model. So they are just trying to get money from people to give you an accreditation and certification. IYA is not just looking at money. If you look at it, you're only paying once. There is no yearly fee, there is no renewal fee, because we want to make it accessible to everybody. But we want to at the same time make sure quality is maintained. We want quantity, but not at the cost of quality. And the Yoga Chikitsa, currently, as I said, we have so many of the Ratnas, the Acharyas, the Chikitsakas, and now Sahayakas. I think we have a list of close to 200 now already who are recognized by IYA. So as you take this process up over the next 5 years, if we have 5,000 such members, automatically the accreditation, the recognition will become very powerful. So how do you build this accreditation and recognition, the power of it? By taking it up, supporting it, and becoming part of this mass movement. The other question is from Surega. We have to document. Yes, see, even if you are taking your own classes, you can document the people you are training. So just because you are running a private institute doesn't mean you don't document. You can keep a register of the student. You can keep a register of the student for the courses. Here you will keep a register of the participant or the care seeker. Normally in our country we call it patient, other countries they call it clients. I think a good term we can use is care seeker. So if somebody is coming to you for yoga therapy, you should have basic details. You should be able to understand what is the health condition. You should have demographic details. You should document how many sessions they have come, how did they improve in that. If possible, get feedback from them. This is the documentation that we want when you apply for Sahayaka, Chikitsaka and Acharya. If you are training other therapists, have a documentation of how many therapists did you train, how did you train them, when did you train them, what was your syllabus, and again feedback. Please try to get feedback from your patients, from your participants, from other people, because that feedback is essential. That is what we look at. Because if I say I have seen 5,000 patients and I cannot document even 50 patients, my claim then doesn't stand scrutiny. Maybe I have seen 5,000, I don't deny it. But if you don't document it, nobody can then scrutinize it. So it is very important to start documenting. My first request to everyone, never underestimate the importance of documentation. We are part of a university setup, the ISCM, and for the NAC and the NIRF, what we say is that even if you sneeze, you have to document it. Okay, whatever you do, you document it, because if you don't document it, you have not done it. That is how the accreditation process works. If you say I have done it but I don't have documentation, the accreditation experts will say you have not done it. So we are not doubting you. IYA believes its members. IYA believes its associate centers. And when people apply for the Chikitsaka, for the Acharya, we ask that the institution gives a recommendation letter, because we trust our institutions. If somebody trained at Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram and our Sridharan sir gives a recommendation letter, we accept it, because we value our Ratna, we value our Acharyas, we value our institutions. So the whole process here is documentation of experience, training. So if you have got trained, please get a document to show that you have trained. Now this doesn't have to be a university training, please understand. We are accepting the training of all the traditions. So you have trained in a tradition, let the head of that traditional institute give you a letter that you have had this many years of training with them, and that they certify that you are a competent yoga therapist. This type of documentation is important. Now, if you have done a master's, an MSc from S. Vyasa, you have done a MSc from Tamil Nadu Sports University in yoga therapy, you have done a program, please submit that. That will also help us. So these are some of the ideas I would like to give. If there are any more questions, you can please let me know. And I would like to request Ankita, in case I have missed anything, to also give some clarifications. So please, Ankita, you can just share if I have missed any practical.
No, sir, you have not missed anything. It just we offer complimentary membership along with our certification. That is the point which you have missed.
Excellent, excellent. So see, when somebody takes up our CCY or ACCY, and you are paying that fees, that 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees fees for the accreditation and certificate, they automatically become a yoga professional member. And this is what Ankita is suggesting, that you don't have to pay a separate membership fee. I think this is very good. And again, if you are already a professional member or a life member, when you apply for the Chikitsa recognition, you are also getting a discount based on that membership. So I think that is a very good plus point. Any other questions? I'm happy to see many of our committee members also here.
There is a question over the Facebook. Yogacharya Acharya Ratna, what is the criteria?
Yeah, see, the criteria for the Acharya is minimum 10 years of documented experience in the field of yoga therapy, giving yoga therapy to clients, and training yoga therapist. Because the word Acharya means you are training other therapists. This is where it is different than the YCB therapy consultant. So a consultant may not be training others. Normally a medical consultant in a hospital setup is also a faculty. So here Acharya means you are training other therapists, minimum 10 years of documented experience, and that you are giving the training. This is Acharya. Ratna is usually for people who have more than 20-25 years of well-known experience in the field of Yoga Chikitsa. They are leading figures of Yoga Chikitsa, and they are running institutions. They are acknowledged as experts worldwide. Such people are directly nominated by the IYA for the Ratna. So in case, somebody has somebody that should be a Ratna, you can always write to IYA and we can consider. But normally we don't want the individual writing saying, I want to be recognized as a Ratna. That we don't want. So the application from the individual can be for Sahayaka, Chikitsaka and Acharya. Now, when we are doing the screening for the applications, many people are applying for Acharya who just completed MSc Yoga Therapy last year. So if you have completed it last year, you are only eligible for Sahayaka, not for even Chikitsaka or Acharya. So I think this is something people need to understand, that the experience is being recognized by IYA, and we start with the Sahayaka. We, after 3 years of experience, documented experience, grow into Chikitsaka. Another 7 years, you become Acharya. And over time, automatically, IYA will recognize you as a Ratna. We have been every year selecting and nominating based on the experts. So all of this documentation is available on our website. And I suggest that everybody look at that website. And if you write to us, we can also share the syllabus. We would like our associate centers, because the associate centers are the strength of IYA. We have hundreds of associate centers now, and I believe every one of you can be running our foundation course. It's 50 hours, our certificate course 200 hours, our advanced certificate course 500 hours, and the Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka, which is 1000 hours plus 200 hours of internship. So I believe every one of you is capable of running these courses. So please, if you have an associate center, a member institute, please apply and take this up, because I think as Indians, it is our duty, our dharma, to stand up that the Indian standard of yoga will be platinum. Everybody in the world can practice yoga, everybody can share yoga, but our standard that we set should be platinum standard. We shouldn't be having a standard set by somebody else, especially in business model. If you look at many of the agencies giving certification today internationally, they don't come from any tradition. They are coming from a business model. So IYA is coming from the model of all the traditions coming together. And that empowers you when you have that certification and recognition. If anybody would like to share any comments, please, you can go ahead.
सर एक प्रश्न है.
Yes, please.
हम IYA सेंटर है हमारा, तो YCB ट्रेनिंग्स में हम ट्यूशन सेंटर का जैसा बना सकते हैं? YCB लेवल 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6.
Ankita, maybe you can give some suggestions on that.
Yeah, you can teach the students as per the syllabus which is prescribed by the YCB, and later on we can conduct examination for those students.
G, you can take it up through the IYA PrCB. What I will request all our associate centers and member institutes to take up the YCB certification process through the IYA PrCB.
ओके, थैंक यू
सर. मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था.
यस.
हाँ, तो मैं तो 2-3 साल से प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ योगा और जजमेंट भी कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन 3 महीने पहले से मेरा हाइटल हर्निया हुआ. उसको कैसे हील करे, वो मैं अभी तक आंसर नहीं मिला मेरे को.
Yeah. See, actually, the idea of this session is not therapeutic consultation, but because you have asked. Yeah. What I will suggest is that you please send me a message. I'll put you in touch with our therapy team, and we'll give you some suggestions depending on your medical condition, because with hernia, we have to try to know what type of hernia, how deep it is, how big it is. And once we know that, whether yoga can help or whether we need to go for surgery and use yoga before surgery and post surgery. So ऐसा मतलब एक बार तो consult करना अच्छा है. You can message me and I'll put you in touch. Right next to you is Dr. Balaji. I'll put you in touch with him, and through him we can take it up. We are there to help you.
ओके सर, नंबर मिल जाएगा तो मैं कांटेक्ट कर सकता हूँ आपसे.
Yeah, you can. I will type our email. You can send there. This is the email yoga@mgmcri.ac.in, and this is our ISCM email and for the School of Yoga Therapy, and we will definitely help you for sure. So thank you.
ओके सर.
Thank you.
ओके
Yes,
सर.
Raja Prabhuji, please.
सर मेरा एक डाउट है सर, जैसा हम IYA का जो PrCB से हम कराएंगे, जैसा मैं तमिलनाडु से बिलोंग करता हूँ, उस बोर्ड में तमिल का भी प्रोविजन है क्या सर?
Ankita, is there a Tamil provision for?
क्योंकि सर तमिழ்நாடு में जो நாமக்கல்ல இருக்க போர்டு மட்டும் தான் சார் தமிழ்ல இருக்கு. ஏன்னா நம்ம
Okay,
ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் தமிழ்ல இருக்கிறதுனால அவங்க வந்து
fine.
தமிழ்ல இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்னு சொல்லி ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க சார். அதுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் நம்ம ஆல்டர்னேட்டிவ் அது பண்ண முடியுமா
The
சார்?
YCB ல தமிழ் இருக்கா எனக்கு தெரியல.
இருக்குங்க சார். நம்ம நாமக்கல்ல அவங்க ஒரே ஒரு போர்டு இருக்கு சார்.
சரி, நாங்க எங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் அதை காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க நீங்க. You
சார்
please let me know about it and we'll look into it because we would like to definitely strengthen the mother tongue and the vernacular languages of our country.
उसमें क्या है, तमिल में जो वाइवा वॉइस है क्या, किसी को सर जो ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड नहीं हो तमिल में एक्सप्लेन कर पाते हैं, लेकिन क्या
Yeah,
इंग्लिश में वो बोल नहीं पाते हैं सर. वो
yeah,
हिंदी
yeah,
बोर्ड चूज करने से ये एक प्रैक्टिकल दिक्कत है सर. उसकी वजह से वो उस एक ही
definitely.
बोर्ड को डिपेंड कर रहे हैं सर.
And definitely,
अगर थोड़ा तमिल को अगर आप
completely
है सर, तमिल पांडिचेरी से अगर आप
agree.
कंसिडर करेंगे तो ये तमिल बंदों के लिए अच्छा रहेगा सर.
We will definitely look
सजेशन है
into
सर.
it. We'll look into it, and we are with you. We understand that the native language, the mother tongue, is very important. As Gandhiji said, when education is given in the mother tongue, the learning will be the best. And so I know that we need the examiners should also be capable. I think some of the issues may be in developing question banks. So the question bank development is, I think, one of the issues.
नहीं
And I
सर,
will discuss.
एग्जाम दे विल अटेंड इन इंग्लिश सर, बट ड्यूरिंग द
Okay.
वाइवा वॉइस एंड कन्वर्सेशन if it is in the Tamil, it will be very useful sir. My point is
Fine.
that one sir.
That I think I will discuss with IYA PrCB that
Sir,
we can look at that.
I would like to highlight if candidate mentions before the examination,
Yeah.
we try to have one regional examiner in the panel.
Okay, so they can help
हाँ,
the
क्योंकि
translation.
अभी जो मेरा फ्रेंड्स है मैम, कम से कम 7-8 लोग अभी जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं मैम इसी का लेवल 3 का. अगर तमिल का कोई एग्जामिनर आएगा तो मैं खुद ही उनका और ज्वाइन करा लूंगा सर.
So no, before examination, if you intimate us, definitely we will have a regional examiner in the
ओके
panel.
ओके जी मैम, थैंक यू.
I think this is wonderful. Thank you, Raja Prabhuji, for pointing that out. And IYA believes in diversity and appreciates diversity of our beloved country. Thank you for that. Rashmi Gadke, I believe there is a question. Please tell me.
Yes. Namaste, sir.
Yes.
Namaste.
Sir, I have a question that our Yogshala, which is known as Param Yogshala in Pune, we are
One second.
accredited by Yoga Certification Board
Yes.
as a yoga institute, and with that we are the associate center of IYA. So
Yeah.
my understanding, today's session has really helped us to understand that how we can conduct the exams. My major query and question is that if we are the associate center, can we have the offline exam for our own students to whom we are training? Is it possible to have offline exam for them, having the examiners at the center? Or do we have to go through the PrCB? Is it compulsory? Because for YCB, we go through PrCB. But for IYA, can we have this provision to have the offline exam?
Yeah, you can do it. See, as an associate center, what you need to do is submit your syllabus to IYA. Once IYA has given you approval to conduct the courses, you will conduct your own exam on site.
Okay.
So
And the entire, sorry, so please
yeah,
go ahead.
you will conduct the exam. Once you have certified that person has passed the exam of your training, then IYA will issue the certificate.
Okay.
But
Thank you, sir.
But you have to get prior approval for your syllabus.
No problem. I
Because-
think we will be taking the syllabus as suggested by you, whatever you have shown and what is there is on the website, because it matches a lot with YCB syllabus also. So
Exactly.
we are covering that. And the other thing, one more thing I want to ask you, does the examination, whatever we are going to conduct, it should have the 3 examiners, how we do in PrCB panel? Because I myself is the examiner for TQ cert. So I want to understand that does the exam happens in the same pattern, or only one examiner or 2 examiners are okay?
See, examination is left to the associate center.
Okay,
So what we see, as I said earlier, IYA trusts its members.
great.
We trust the integrity of the members. So if from your center you say, I have given this training for this person, this is my syllabus, it matches more than 70% of IYA syllabus, and this person has passed my exam, we will issue the certification because we trust you.
Great. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. This helps a
So
lot.
this is where IYA is based on trust.
No, completely agree with it, and be assured that we are on the same page.
We will love to have your inputs on that. Please take it forward. Over to Pankaj Bhagatji. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, I have a question that suppose someone is the life member of Indian Yoga Association and he has completed his MSc also from a recognized university. So is it mandatory for him to have an experience of 10 years?
Yeah. See, for Acharya, you need 10 years.
Okay. And Sahayaka?
Sahayaka, as soon as you are qualified with the MSc in yoga therapy, you can come for Sahayaka, Siddha Sada, but currently you have to go through the scrutiny process.
All of a sudden.
And if the person has more than 3 years of documented, they can apply for Chikitsaka.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, namaste. Please. Someone said namaste and then disappeared.
GD Manji,
I'm
you can.
Yes, please.
So I'm a Video Yoga Association member.
Yes.
And also associate center in the Yoga Parambur. Start coming to the easy point. So we are teaching YCP level 1, 2, 3. And what is the difference now? I'm also taking for CCY and CCY and ACCY. So our students, a lot of students are there. So we can train them also to get the certificate.
Yes, absolutely, you can do that. While you are training for the YCB exam, if you can cover 50 hours, you can get the FCY. If you cover 200 hours, you can get the CCY. If you cover 500 hours, you get the ACCY. So you need to document how many hours of training your student is receiving.
It's valuable for them to this certificate is valued, in a graduate.
Absolutely. As I have been saying, the more we support the IYA certification, the more valid it will become, the more valuable it will become. And already in many of the places, they are now suggesting that IYA certificate will be considered. So it is slowly coming, but it is like, see, the more the numbers we put into it, the more powerful it will become. The more the people are using, foreign material, the more powerful it will become. The more we use Indian material, the more powerful Indian material will become. Same logic here. So the more we support IYA initiators, the more powerful IYA certification will become, and the more benefit we will all get from that certification.
Thank you. I finished my MSc Yoga Therapy and MSc Yoga and MPhil Yoga. Then I'm basically staff nurse. I was working in Apollo Hospital. Now I'm practicing therapy. So we are more than 10 years. So I'm as you told, I'm not documented. So we are talk of very useful because I have documented not much, only name and complete price I am not documented. So now I recently 1 year I am documenting. Very useful also.
Yes.
So what certification I can apply? Acharya or Sakaya?
Yeah.
What
My
course
yes. See, if you have done your MSc recently, then go in for the Sahayaka application. If you have done your MSc 3 years ago and have some documentation, go for Chikitsaka. These are the two. My immediate suggestion is for the Acharya, our scrutiny is very tough, because for the Acharya we want to make sure 10 years of good documentation. So I always suggest people, if you are a new candidate, then please, take up the Sahayaka, keep documenting. In 3 years, you can reapply for the Chikitsaka. But if you have some documentation and more than 3 years of experience, you can apply for Chikitsaka. That is also a good idea.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Kind of.
And now there's a question from another center. They are conducting courses for last 10 years. They want to certify the students who have passed earlier. How to certify them? Well, there are two ways to do it. One is recognition of prior learning. There is one process by which, if you have already given your diplomas and your certificates, you can go through that. The second thing is, you please be in contact with the IYA, PrCB and the Secretariat. If you can document the list of your students who have completed the training, then if you submit it, they can be issued the certificates. So it is possible, but in this case, it is very important, two things to be done. Your syllabus should be, first of all, authenticated by IYA. So send your syllabus, make sure it is approved. Once it is approved, you send us a list of those who have completed the course, and yes, we will then give it. But please note, the certification will be given now. So the date of the certificate will be now. You cannot backdate the certificate to 5 years ago. So if they trained with you 5 years ago, now you document their name. They will be given that CCY, ACCY, FCY, whatever. But please note that document date will be the current date. For example, if now you do it, it will be in November or December of this year will be the date of the certificate. We cannot backdate your training is backdated, but the certificate will be only the current date. Now, if it is for therapy, again for therapy, my suggestion is that you have all your students who have passed, apply for the Sahayaka. That is the best way to do it for now. Submit your syllabus, and from the new batch, take them into Sahayaka. So at the end of 1 year, they will automatically become Sahayaka. For students who have already completed, you give us a mass letter. These are the 50 students who have completed. Let them all fill out the form, and based on your recommendation and documentation, they can all come into the Sahayaka through the committee currently. Currently, we cannot automatically give you a Sahayaka just like that. So currently, what we are approving is a prospective training. So now you are starting the training of a batch. When they complete, they will get it automatically. Previous students, you give the letter, give the diploma, certificate, let them apply through scrutiny committee. So this is the process. But if it is for CCY, ACCY, then you submitting it now, we can, if that syllabus matching is done and approved, then you can get it. But the certificate will be dated now. That is the only thing. So students studied with you 5 years ago, they will say, now you are giving me a certificate with today's date. Date will be today, it cannot be 5 years ago. So please understand that much. If they want to do it for the FCY, CCY, ACCY, that is one process that can be taken up. And you can write to the Secretariat and to the PrCB. And if you have a lot of students, we can also look at the recognition of prior learning. So if you have a student, but they are not in contact with the institute anymore, they can apply directly for recognition of prior learning for CCY and ACCY. I hope that clarifies that question. Sorry, I think my internet got cut while I was talking. So I just wanted to thank all of you for being part of today's meeting and taking your time to be with us. Please do be in touch with the IYA Secretariat and our PrCB. I highly recommend all our associate centers to take up these courses and also the YCB certification through our PrCB. You supporting our PrCB is good for you and for IYA. So please take it up, and looking forward to having a lot of applications and a lot of certifications happen over the next year. So thank you very much. We'll close with a prarthana at this point. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad. Nandri. Vanakkam.